أو زد عليه ورتل القرآن ترتيلا.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Welcome to Practical Tajweed for each letter. In our previous episode, we looked at letter Taah, and now we will look at letter Taah. What practical Tajweed do we apply when we pronounce the letter Taah in our recitation? We look at from a sukoon position, sound, air, unique quality, full mouth, empty mouth, common mistakes. So with letter Taah, if we pronounce it with the sukoon position, we'll say atto, 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 ta, ti, tu, atto. So letter Taah is coming from the front of the tongue. Atto, we touch the upper palate. Atto, 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 atto. So it's a tongue letter. Front of the tongue touching the upper palate. Atto, atto, ta. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. So letter Ta is a tongue letter. As for the sound, see, when we pronounce letter Ta with sukun, we say atto, 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 atto. You can clearly see it is a bouncing letter. Like ab, 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 ade, ade, aje, aje, ato, ato, at. We call this qalqala letter, bouncing letter. And I explained before, bouncing letter has two qualities. First, we trap it and then we bounce it out. But outrightly, we say it is a bouncing letter. When you break it down, look at different qualities, then, of course, you mention those different qualities. Ato. So we bounce the sound. Now, when we bounce the sound, what do we do with the air? We trap the air. And I mentioned before, most qalqala letters, bouncing letter, if we pronounce half of it, like ab, ab, so it is half of the letter, ab, we trap the sound, we trap the air. And then ab, ta, ta, we bounce out the sound, air is trapped. Of course, when you open up the mouth, some air coming out, 5%, 10%. We want to look at 80, 90% of the air. What do we do? Flow it or trap it? With the air, only two options. Either we flow the air or we trap the air. With the sound, we have four options. Either we flow the sound, or we trap the sound, at, or we bounce the sound, ab, or we do it halfway, ar, ar, ar. So this is why letter Ta is trapping the air, bouncing the sound. Letter Ta is a full mouth letter, letter of isti'la, Tafkhim. So we say Ta, ta, ato, ato, ato. So therefore, so when we say ihdina siratal ta, ta, ta. And again, I mentioned before, full mouth, there are two schools. According to one school, there are 5 different levels of full mouth. Ta, tu, ti. And according to another school, there are 3 different levels of full mouth. What that means that when anything on top of the full mouth letter, dhamma, kasra, dhamma, fatha, the full mouth is higher. And when anything below ti, it is lower. That's all. But whichever position they are in, whichever haraka they have, they still have their full mouth quality. Often, again, if people are not careful, then they mix up with ta and ta. So ta is empty mouth ta, and ta is a full mouth letter. We need to be careful and mindful, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الذين آتيناهم الكتاب يتلونه حق تلاوته أولئك يؤمنون به ومن يكفر به فأولئك هم الخاسرون.